Here's how I spent 4 days in Ireland, visiting Galway and Dublin. After landing in Dublin, I took a bus to Galway. This was about a 3-hour bus ride. My first stop in Galway City was Thomas Dillon to pick out a clotter ring. The store was a lot of fun and they had a small museum in the back as well. Then I checked out the Spanish Arch and the long walk along the river. I wandered and explored through a very rainy Galway City. I grabbed dinner at a pub and then called it a night. Day 2 was all about my Cliffs of Moher tour. This tour was 8 hours long. The first stop was Dungar Castle. Then we stopped at Hazel Mountain Chocolate Factory, where we got to see the chocolate making process and pick out some treats. We drove along Wild Atlantic Way and stopped for lunch at a pub in the tiny town of Doolin. The stop at the cliffs was 2 hours long, so we had a lot of time to explore, and I was lucky to get really amazing weather to see the cliffs, especially because I was visiting in February. On our trip back to Galway City, we passed by the Matchmaker Bar. Then I grabbed dinner at my hotel, the Glenlow Abbey. On day 3, I headed back into Dublin. This time I took a train from Galway to Dublin, and this was about 2.5 hours. First stop in Dublin, of course, is the Guinness Storehouse. This tour is self-guided and teaches you all about the growing and brewing process. And my favorite floor was the advertising floor. And then I paid an additional €8 for the Stouty experience. They take a picture of you and print your face on your pint of Guinness. The Gravity Bar at the end of the tour had beautiful views of Dublin. And then on my last day, I just focused on exploring Dublin. I started in St. Stephen's Green, hit Grafton Street, checked out the Molly Malone statue. Of course, I walked around the Trinity College campus. I visited Dublin Castle and even paid the €8 to take a tour of the inside. My absolute favorite thing I did in Dublin was the cocktail making class at the Jameson Distillery. We learned how to make the perfect old-fashioned and a whiskey sour. Everyone in my class was really nice and I met people from all over the world. And my last stop was the Temple Bar before I said goodbye to Ireland.